Yo, what's up? This is Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe. For the next hour, my goal in life is to change the way you think about things. For the next hour, I want my thoughts and my opinions to broaden your horizon. To get into contact with me, it's not hard. It's not rocket science. All you have to do is get the Hoppe Radio app in the Google Play or iOS shop by searching up Hoppe Radio, Hoppe Radio. There, you can listen to me when I'm live. You also can listen to me on demand at any time. So if you missed a show when it's live, if you want to listen to on demand, you can. And you can also chat me when I'm live. So get the Hoppe Radio app. If you're listening on demand, it's Hoppe Radio. And that's on Snapchat, or RyanHoppeRadio@gmail.com is the email, or RyanHoppeRadio.com. Beth chimes in. What's up, Ryan? What's up, Beth? All right. We have so much to get into. So as you guys know, there was a terrorist attack that happened today in New York City. It says authorities have identified a Tampa man as the suspect who drove onto a New York City path Tuesday, killing at least 8 people and injuring several others. And now, I don't want to see one single news site or news outlet or blog to go to the whole angle of, wow, Florida's crazy, man. Wow, what a surprise that this terrorist would come from Florida. No. This guy, I can't even pronounce his name, and if I could, I wouldn't give him the time of day, is 29 years old, and he's an absolute dirtbag. He's an absolute cretin. He's an absolute piece of crap, but he does not represent Florida. And it says that he has a Tampa address. The AP confirms with sources that the suspect had a Florida license, but may have been hanging out in New Jersey, probably getting ready for this attack. A News Channel 8 crew went to a Tampa address that was there for his name and saw the FBI at the scene, of course. He is a Uzbek national who came to the U.S. in 2010, which we know Trump will have a few things to say about that. They are saying that he rented a Home Depot trunk, onto a bike path and mowed down several people near the World Trade Center. Authorities say the truck also slammed into a school bus, injuring 2 kids and 2 adults. It is crazy what is going on right now in the world, because it's just like, I went to a Lil Wayne concert last month and I was just like, man, I'm really drunk and I'm in this crowd and I could get shot at any point if they wanted to. Whenever I'm in crowds or whenever I'm in major cities, I'm always absolutely afraid that a thing is going to happen. And it just seems like New York City keeps getting hit. It's very sad. But it's just weird to think about that now in 2017 going on 2018 as the year's ending. We literally always have to be watching over our back to make sure nothing is happening. Things are not awful right now. Like, we live in a good country. We have things pretty good. But things aren't the best. Like, we always need to watch our surroundings. They said that he shouted, Allah Akbar, and said that he was shot by cops after he jumped out of a truck with a fake gun in each hand. The AP says he is in surgery and expected to survive. Well, listen. If you're performing surgery on this piece of crap, can't you just kind of like not try as hard? Can't you pretend it's like a board game and let the guy die? Like, taxpayer money is literally going to go into this. He'll get life in prison. He'll get beat up in prison. He might get killed in prison. But it's okay to beat up your girl if you're in prison. It's okay to rob a bank, but you touch a kid or you're a terrorist and all of a sudden you get beat up in prison. I mean, what is he going to add? I get that you have to go through the whole idea of having him in front of a judge, of having a courtroom, and you'll get a court-appointed lawyer. But if you're the surgeon, can't you just say, he died during surgery? Can't you just kind of let him die somehow? I mean, what's he going to add to the world? Here is what Governor Rick Scott of Florida had to say. I am absolutely disgusted by the act of terror that occurred in Manhattan today. All of Florida is praying for the victims, their families, and our brave law enforcement and first responders, which basically is what we expected them to say. I don't know why you have to put in that we're praying for the victims. I mean, we can pray all we want. We can wish upon the best thoughts that we want. But at the end of the day, anything can happen at any second. So I don't know what prayers can do. And number two, what was Rick Scott supposed to say? I never get when they force these politicians to chime in and they have the same thing. I am absolutely disgusted by the act of terror that occurred. What was he going to say? Oh, it was great that people died today on a bike path. Like, I know we want to feel comfortable by having our politicians chime in, but I just love when it's the same thing over and over again. All right, tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio. Our listenership on the show does reach more than just Tampa Bay. So maybe you were there, and maybe you're listening on the Hoppe Radio app. All you have to do is tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio or ryanhopperadio@gmail.com. All right. I'm going to talk about this. Quite the transition. Netflix suspends House of Cards after company looks into Kevin Spacey's sexual assault allegation. You know what's funny? Family Guy made a joke about Kevin Spacey a few years ago. So if Family Guy and Seth MacFarlane is making a joke about Kevin Spacey, one would have to assume that all of Hollywood knew about Kevin Spacey. So Netflix probably knew about him and this thing that happened when he was younger. So now they're reacting because the news came out. But if Netflix was so high and mighty, they would never have done the show in the first place because they wouldn't want to be associated with a pedophile. I'm just saying. Netflix suspended production of House of Cards as it's looking into the sexual assault allegation against the show's lead actor, Kevin Spacey. The media right capital and Netflix have decided to suspend production on House of Cards Season 6 until further notice to give us time to review. What's there to look into? He probably did it. The current situation and to address any concerns of our cast and crew. Listen, I would like to think that the cast and crew of the show care, but the cast and crew aren't as famous as Kevin Spacey. I'm sure they're not as rich as Kevin Spacey. So, pardon me for sounding insensitive, but I think the cast and crew are kind of hoping that the show goes back to normal so they can make the money by being on one of the biggest shows and one of the most influential shows of all time on Netflix, because it was the original series on Netflix. So I think every actor and every cast member on House of Cards is like, please, let's go back to filming. It made me good money. I was able to eat caviar. The news comes a few days after actor Anthony Rapp told BuzzFeed that actor Kevin Spacey had made a sexual advance towards him at a party when he was 14 in 1986. Kevin Spacey, of course, said on Twitter that he did not remember the incident, but said he is sorry for what would have been deeply inappropriate drunken behavior. So he's basically saying that he's a drunken pedophile. Listen, this is the saddest, most infuriating part about Kevin Spacey. We sit here and we go, why are there pedophiles in Hollywood? We sit here and we go, why do rich and famous people get away with things? We sit here and we go, why does this keep on happening? It's because we put them on a pedestal. And we act like they're better than us because they're rich and famous and they're actors. Until the day that we crucify them as equally as any other pedophile, this will keep on happening. Until the day that we go, we will not watch a second of House of Cards, this will keep on happening. Because if this was some Joe Schmo, let's say this was a high school party, and this kid was drunk, and the gym teacher, 40 years old, comes on to the kid, we would want him to be killed. We would want him to not be around anymore. But it's Kevin Spacey, and he was really good in American Beauty, and he was really good in House of Cards. We don't really care. I'm just being honest. We really don't care. I was talking to one of my family members, and they said, oh, but I like House of Cards. That's the problem. That's the problem. Until the day that we crucify famous people for any type of act. If it's being a pedophile, if it's sexually assaulting or harassing a girl, if it's a DUI, if it's a crime, until the day we crucify them equivalently. If we don't keep on crucifying them in the same way as we do a normal person, this will keep on happening, this will keep on happening, and nothing will change. If we don't make it equivalent, nothing will change whatsoever. I don't care if Kevin Spacey is rich and is really good at playing Frank Underwood. It seems like he's very much the same as him. And I had this thought that came into my mind that I was thinking about. I think if you have to be a rich and famous and really talented actor, I think there has to be a few things wrong with you. You may not have been accepted as a kid, so acting was your one way of portraying that you had talent, portraying that you had something going on with your life. Why are actors or radio DJs with crazy names or reality stars antisocial in real life? It's because they have nothing going for them outside of the real world, because they're lonely losers in real life. They have nothing going for them. So when they're behind the TV camera or movie camera or behind the microphone, that's their time to shine. That's their time to pretend like they're rich and famous and they're great. And that's why being an actor is really weird. I feel like acting drives you to go insane, because you then live as that character and you begin to think that you're that character. Why was Heath Ledger's last movie The Dark Knight? He literally was thinking that he was the Joker. Think about it this way. Kevin Spacey has always played quirky characters. He's never played the normal dad in a movie where he's trying to find his daughter that's been kidnapped. He's never played a happy-go-lucky guy. He's always played very quirky characters. Why would that be? Because he's a weird guy. Here's the other thing I was thinking about when it came to Kevin Spacey. He's in his late 50s, maybe even older. He's had more than a half a century to come out gay, especially in the last 5 years when it's been cool to come out gay. He's had all this time to come out. But he waits until these pedophile accusations come out to come out gay. If I'm Kevin Spacey, I would be ashamed to associate myself with any normal gay person when you say, oh, these accusations might be true. Oh, and I'm gay. Because you're basically saying you're gay so that people forget that you're a pedophile. Which it worked, because all the liberal news sites, and I'm not into the whole liberal news thing, but I'm just saying all the sites were like, Kevin Spacey comes out as gay. No. It's not the headline. That's what I thought was funny, was he was a genius. All he had to say was, oh yeah, I'm gay as well. I may have touched a kid at age 14 and made advances, but I'm gay. And then we all go, wow! Kevin Spacey's gay. Yeah, because we never saw that coming. A guy who's never been seen with a pretty woman at any award show as this couple. We never saw this coming, that Kevin Spacey could supposedly be gay. Never saw that coming. I just thought it was so insulting, and I want to see the LGBTQ community come out and say that they want nothing to do with Kevin Spacey, because it's an insult, a joke, and an abomination that he would associate himself with being homosexual as a reason why it was okay for him to be a pedophile. Just saying. Because you have those weird imbeciles that are against gay rights in 2017 that are like, see, all gay people are pedophiles like Kevin Spacey. Piece of crap. It's so infuriating that literally nobody cares. Everybody's like, oh yeah, but I like House of Cards. It's a good movie. It's a good show. I liked them in American Beauty. That was a good movie. Until the day that we treat rich and famous celebrities as equal as us when it comes to crimes, nothing will ever change. Shout out to Russell from Cleveland, who is a listener of when I was on Rover's Morning Glory, who says he wanted a shout out. There you go. Tweeted me at Ryan Happy Radio. Chime in on Hoppe TV email me, ryanhopperadio@gmail.com, and keep listening via the app. We will be right back after this. Do not touch that computer mouse, that tablet, however the hell you're listening to my show. Hey Trey!
What's up, biatch?
Shut up.
I got the cat.
I know. I saw you petting her, Melissa. Happy Halloween for my black cat. She's gonna scare you. I'm gonna have a shock jock rant about how she's a pussy cat. Speak the truth, bitch. You got my black cat. Who the hell's watching this? We'll be back in about 3 minutes. What'd you think of that, Trey?
It was pretty good.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it.
Thanks. You're also my friend, so you're biased.
Yeah, I know, I'm biased. My thing, I like Kevin Spacey a lot, so I hate that he fucking did that. It's like the diehard Michael Jackson fan that were like, yeah, he touched some kids, but like, I was always one of those people. Who was like, Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Good, a point. Happy Hour will be back probably at 6 p.m. on Thursday from the Kevin Holly Studios in Newport Richie. Yeah. If anybody cares. You attacked me earlier, Melissa. I went digging for something.
Your laugh is always funnier than whatever you say.
What my lady say?
I can do your laugh because your laugh is so goddamn funny. That's fine.
Ryan Hoppe.
Who? Who? Yeah! Doesn't this beat just pump you up? Make you want to go to the gym? Lift some weights? Check out that girl with the nice ass? And then get a protein shake? It makes me want to not do that because my girlfriend's looking at me mad as I said that. Tweet me at Ryan Hoppe Radio and get the Hoppe Radio app in your Google Play and iOS shop by searching up Hoppe Radio, HLPPE Radio. Alright, I have this thing that's been on my mind that I'm absolutely sick and tired of. Alright, listen. I'm from the Midwest, so I know cold. The 2 semesters that I went to a quote-unquote college, Harper College Community College in Palatine, Illinois, I knew about the negative 20-degree weather as I went from my one class that I had a D- in math to my one class I had a B in speech, believe it or not. Oh, walking across that campus that was sort of big was annoying. It was frigid out. Or the mornings when it was cold out and you'd have to go outside and warm up your car for 5 minutes and wipe up the snow off the top of your car and then shovel your driveway. Or when you would have to drive through the crazy snow that wasn't plowed in your suburban neighborhood blocks, only on the main roads. Listen, it's cool out here in Florida. It's a little chilly out, but I don't like hearing people complain that it's cold out right now in Florida. Just because you have to turn up the heat in your house, like I am, I'll admit it, I did, or in your car, or you have to put a blanket on, doesn't mean that it's cold out, Florida. It means that your blood is thin from it being 110 out every day, so when it's 75 or lower, it seems cold. But that does not mean that the weather is cold. That just means your blood isn't used to it. Listen, 2 years ago, when I went home to Chicago for Christmas, I got off the plane and I forgot to bring a jacket, and it was like 100 out that Christmas. And I got off the plane and I went outside, and it was frigid out. And the guy came up to me, and the guy was like, "Are you not from here?" I'm like, "No, I am. I just left my jacket." And he goes, "Makes sense, because it's been cold out for so long." But my friend Trey chimed in, who's laying on my bed right now. He said, "F off. It's cold out. It's effing freezing." No, listen. You think it's cold. But I would love to see Floridians with the crazy attitude and the crazy way they live life. I would love to see them deal with negative 20-degree weather. I would love to see it. I would love to see, imagine if there was winter during Tampa Bay and there was 18 inches of snow. Imagine having to drive across the Howard Franklin with snow. I'm sure everybody, all the Florida drivers here, driving across the Skyway or the Gandy or the Howard Franklin, would be so calm and so collective, and they would let each other merge, and there wouldn't be that many car crashes, and everybody would be friendly, and everybody would know that they're all trying to get to a place safely, and there would be no chaos whatsoever. It's utter sarcasm in my voice if you're listening in a different city, because when there is cold weather up north, people immediately learn how to drive very well. And I believe I just heard gunshots in my neighborhood.
Or a knock at the door.
What?
Or a knock at the door.
My friend just said he thinks it's a knock at the door. It's not a knock at the door.
Was it gunshots?
Sounded like a gunshot. You know I don't live in the best neighborhood when you're just randomly doing your podcast and you hear a gunshot in your neighborhood. All right, tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio. Get the Hoppe Radio app in the Google Play and iOS shop by searching up Hoppe Radio, Hoppe Radio. My friend Russell from Cleveland, my girlfriend who's here as well, just locked the door after we potentially heard a gunshot in my neighborhood. Gun move! My friend chimed in from Cleveland, Russell. He said, "Tell your boy to come spend a couple of days in Cleveland mid-January." Yeah, Trey.
What?
I'll take money out of the very little I make in radio, and I'll fly you to Cleveland. And you'll hang out in Cleveland in, let's say, February 5th. The day after the Super Bowl.
Alright.
And we'll just have you hang outside for 5 minutes. 10-degree weather, the sun doesn't come out, snow everywhere. Let's see how you and all you Floridians handle it.
I'll do it naked. I'll do it naked. I'll fucking do it naked, and I'll...
Alright, no one's talking to you. You're not on mic, so it's not unique to listen to.
Oh.
This is from the Daily Mail. Andy Dick. And his quote, "I didn't grope anyone. I just love licking people. That's my thing." Andy Dick is fired from film after allegations he groped everyone's genitals and propositioned others. Okay, listen. Some people might be shocked by the Kevin Spacey allegations or even everything going on with that movie executive. I'm going to leave nameless. I'm sick of hearing his name. But listen to me. If you go on Andy Dick's Wikipedia page, it says controversy, and it says every single thing that dude has ever done. Literally, his last name defines what he's potentially into and the type of person he is. I mean, Andy Dick's a weird guy. Like, I listen to Joe Rogan's podcast a lot. I like watching the clips on YouTube. And there was an interview with Andy Dick, probably from 2013. I suggest you all look it up. Just type in Joe Rogan Experience Andy Dick and watch Andy Dick on there. He just is very, very quirky. A very weird guy. And you can tell Joe Rogan a lot of times during his show just kind of leans back and just relaxes and just talks to the guest. But you could tell that he was doing a lot of thinking. because he worked with Andy Dick on news radio, so you could tell he was really thinking about all the memories he had with Andy Dick. So I would suggest you all check that out. Andy Dick has been fired from his current project, Raising Buchanan, after allegations were made that he groped people on set. The bisexual actor admitted to licking people as a way of saying goodbye. I've never ever heard anybody go, Ryan, it was nice seeing you today at the gig. I've never ever had one of my family members go, Ryan, keep up the good work in Tampa. It's been nice seeing you for Christmas. I've never ever said goodbye to the person at the front desk of 7-Eleven after getting a Slurpee at 2 in the morning and getting gas and them going, it was nice to see you. That is the weirdest thing I've ever heard. That Andy Dick says goodbye by licking people. He says he is sober, but may have appeared loopy as he claims he may have taken too much Xanax. When you take a hard drug like that, or Klonopin, I take Klonopin for my good old bipolar I love having. The way you get it is you take like 0.5 of it per day, a little pill, and to prevent them from seeing that you deal it on the side or you're taking too much, you can only get a refill every single 30 days. So I'm sure Andy Dick had that from a prescription at Walgreens. I'm sure Andy Dick didn't just buy the Xanax with all the connections he has. They said he had a small role in the independent feature Raising Buchanan. Listen, I don't want to be against Hollywood, but they haven't really proved us right. One would think if you're the main person in a movie and it was Andy Dick, they probably wouldn't have fired him. They would have just suspended filming until further notice, like House of Cards. I'm just saying. When he was asked, they said, here's what Andy Dick said when asked about it. I might have kissed somebody on a cheek to say goodbye and then licked them. That's just my thing. It's what I do. The alleged victims have not come forward. You don't need to have them come forward. It's literally everybody in Hollywood. If you go to Andy Dick's Twitter or Instagram page and you looked at his tag pics, it shows him blackout drunk, just kissing people. That's his thing. He's a weird guy. They said that he will grope people's genitals, kiss them unwantedly, and he's propositioned a ton of the actors he's worked with. It says here, I don't grope people anymore. Have I ever groped anybody? No. I love you're obviously guilty when you have to use the word anymore. I don't expose myself anymore. I used to. I do get that the temperature in the world right now is delicate. I didn't grope anybody. I licked Carrie Fisher at a roast. It's me being funny. I'm just trying to sexually... No, he says, I'm not trying to sexually harass people. Seems like that's the definition of harassing people. When you're groping them when they don't want to, or you're whipping out your last name in front of people, or you're licking them. It seems like that would be called harassing. He was escorted off Jimmy Kimmel Live repeatedly in 2007 for touching Ivanka Trump. Yeah, this dude, I don't even think it's a power trip because Andy Dick has never been famous or talented or rich enough to have a power trip like that movie executive in Los Angeles or Kevin Spacey where you can have that power. I don't know if Andy Dick had a weird past growing up, or I don't know if he's just crazy, but I just think Andy Dick is just a flirtatious, weird guy. I don't know if it's autism or Asperger's, but there's something wrong with the guy. If you think that's the right thing to do, I'm just saying. People are so sensitive, he said. Yeah, you know, because we have senses and we don't like being licked. Unless it's during an act south of the border, then go ahead. I'm just saying.
In Mexico?
Yeah. Here's what he said. Here's what Andy Dick said. I overtook my medication and took too many Xanax, and I was a bit loopy. That didn't make me rape people. Good to hear. Back to the quote. I don't really get it. I'm always trying to be funny and trying to get a date. I don't have a date. I am on Tinder and looking. I feel like Andy Dick doesn't do well on Tinder. I feel like I did better on Tinder, and that's saying something. I love the line that he has to say he didn't rape people. Like, you would hope he didn't rape people. Here is what people on the set said. He's sober. He's sitting with me right now. He's my best friend. I swear he didn't do anything. Okay. I mean, you can be shocked by Kevin Spacey. Or you can be shocked by Harvey, that guy out there, that movie executive. But if you literally are shocked that Andy Dick did this, and then you just don't really know much about actors, because Andy Dick is like a known weirdo. All right, here's the deal. We're going to come back on Happy Hour, and we have so much to get into. Looks like people might be looking into me. I might be in a little bit of trouble in half of Tampa Bay. There's something going on, especially if you listen to talk radio. It sort of depends on how you watch your TV shows. But we might be in trouble. I will leave it at that. We will be right back on Happy Hour after this. Do not touch that computer mouse, that tablet, however the hell you listen to my show.
You know, Ryan's got his own sex scandal.
No, it's Cody.
Oh.
Box. Good looking at the people that do it. It's just like when they looked into people with LimeWire.
Have you heard about the new deal in town?
No, I haven't.
The best deal in Tampa Bay. If you haven't, I'm about to let you know.
What penis
it's
thing?
4330 North 40th
I don't know what you're
Street.
talking about.
And that's in Tampa Bay, Florida. And here's the deal. Go to Metro PCS today and get 2 lines of unlimited LTE data for just $80. Yeah, that's right. Get 2 lines of unlimited data for just $80.
We'll be back in about 2 minutes.
You get 2 free awesome smartphones with 32 gigs of memory when you switch, all on the best reliable network. And make sure you don't miss out on this unlimited deal. 2 line unlimited LTE data for just $80. Don't wait any longer to take advantage of this great deal. If you go there at 4330 40th Street North in Tampa Bay, Florida, and you tell them that Ryan Hoppe sent you and that you're a listener of Happy Hour, they will hook you up. And if there's anything else you want to know, maybe you want to call them real quick while you're driving to Metro PCS, call them at 813-628-8622. That's 813-628-8622. Tell them I sent you and they will hook you up.
All right, we will be back in about 2 more minutes. I'm going to play one more commercial. We have so much to get into.
What's up? This is Ryan Hoppe from the award-winning Happy Hour podcast here on Tampa Bay, and I'm here today to talk about my new friend of Happy Hour, Tampa Bay bands, who have made the new Happy Hour t-shirts possible. And here's why you should check them out, because I'm a man of my words. They offer a broad range of decorating techniques that are all performed in-house, right there. Direct garment, screen painting, and embroidery. They are very exceptional, and they produce each order on an individual basis, so they care about making sure it comes to you as soon as possible. They operate at their own art setup and embroidery factory here in Tampa Bay, and they provide the highest quality screen printing in all of Florida. And guess what? They use the top-notch equipment and top-grade inks to ensure that their direct-to-garment prints are reached at a standard that they can.
Hard root beer is amazing.
And maybe you're going, oh man, how can I get into contact with such a great company? Trust me, it's not hard. It's not rocket science. All you have to do is give them a call right now at 813-374-9544. That's 813-374-9544. Or you can visit them right off of West Shore Boulevard in Tampa Bay. That's at 4817 South West Shore Boulevard. And go to their website, TampaBayBands.com. Trust me when I say that they are the best in the Bay.
Watch out. Hoppe is about to rant.
Welcome back to Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe. Looks like myself and half of Tampa might be in a little bit of trouble. No, not at all. But this is from the Daily Mail. Kodi users, which is illegal software you can put on different things like Roku, the Amazon Fire, Xbox One, PS4, and you can get like different things to watch TV shows allegedly illegally. Kodi users are being spied on with an add-on that knows if you're watching free TV and films illegally. You know this is a part of a cable company, a few of them, that are panicking that nobody is buying their service. Absolutely infuriating. You know they're losing their mind. Because everybody is going to this way to watch things for free. You know everybody is not paying for cable anymore. So they're like, how do we get that done? Oh yeah, have the feds look into the illegal services that are going on. A new add-on has been put on some user boxes without their permission. I love how we need their permission to watch things illegally. Yes, you can look into me allegedly looking at Kodi and TV shows illegally. It is able to monitor all the content people are watching on their boxes. They're probably just like, wow, someone else is watching Game of Thrones. If the add-on detects illegal content, it displays a large warning message. The message will not go away until users comply. Uh-oh. Because we all know people, potentially, allegedly, maybe, that sell boxes. If you're in Tampa, you know what I'm talking about. Be careful. Kodi's spyware could find out if users are watching illegally things on their boxes, according to a new report. A new add-on has been put on some of them without users' approval. Alright. Well, luckily, one of my friends, allegedly, maybe, or maybe I'm just doing theater of the mind, may have gave me his cable password 2 years ago, so I just watch everything on Showtime and HBO and Cinemax. Allegedly. Come on. Cable could fix this problem. Cable. I know I talked about this last week, but I'll say it again. You want to figure out how to fix this? Do you really want to figure out how to get people to pay for your service? Don't have any contracts. Be like Amazon or Spotify. Even YouTube is doing it. 20, 30, 40 bucks a month. No contracts. A la carte. Let us watch what we want, when we want. Whatever networks we want. And you guys won't be out of business in 20 years. Alright. Until you guys figure that out, we're going to allegedly, maybe, potentially keep using Kodi. Alright. You guys ready for some NBA news? I don't know if you are. I am. I don't know about the rest of the audience. You ready? I have so much to get into. I have my friend who's laying on my bed chiming in. I don't care about your opinion. We have so much to get into. Tweet at me. at Ryan Hoppe Radio. Get the Hoppe Radio app in the Google Play and iOS shop by searching up Hoppe Radio, AHLPPE Radio. All right, you hear this NBA music in the background? Oh yeah, yeah. Da 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 da. Listen, I don't know about this new breed. Jeff Adams chimes in. What up? I don't know about this new breed of sports reporters. I don't know if it's the millennial reporters or if it's middle-aged sports reporters that are just lazy. But I was watching the four-letter sports network while I was getting dressed at the gym, because I never watch sports TV unless it's NBA TV, NFL, or NHL, the actual sport networks. I never watch the other ones. I saw them debating, because you know all the sport networks, they have their debate shows where it's scripted. One side takes the wacky opinion, the other side takes the opinion that makes more sense, and the debate was, are the Cavaliers hot trash? Are the Cleveland Cavaliers a bad team? Because one punk-ass reporter said he thinks they are. Listen. The Cleveland Cavaliers, who have gone to the last 3 NBA Finals and won the city of Cleveland the first championship in a half a century, and lost one of their best point guards they've ever had, Kyrie Irving, in a trade, I would expect Cleveland not to do well right now. They now have Isaiah Thomas on the team, and they're trying to incorporate him in the offense. And we all know that LeBron James, whenever he's had a new team around him, when he first joined Cleveland, or when he first came back to Cleveland back in 2014, or when he first joined the Heat, whenever he's had a new team around him, LeBron James has always had a team that's kind of had flunks and had bad games. But once you reach the middle of the season, especially after the 1-week break in February, that's when they hit their prime, and it's when they get ready for the playoffs. I don't think these loser sport reporters that have never dribbled a ball in their life, besides when they're watching Pornhub, I don't think they get that there are 82 games in a year. And if you play for 10 years, that's 820 games you're playing. I don't think you realize that they know they're not going to win every game. And the bad NBA teams that only play 82 games a year but never get to the playoffs, I don't think these sport reporters get that they take every single game very seriously, because they're not going to the playoffs. They may never go to the finals, so each game is a game that keeps them on the team. Just saying. I do not get when these reporters go, oh my God, we're 5 games in. We have 77 games left in the season, but the Cavaliers are hot trash. Cavaliers suck. God, I despise, I cannot stand where sports journalism is at. It's an absolute joke. Think about it. If you're on the 4-letter network, or you're on any other sports network, or you write for a sports blog where you make good money, or you're writing for a newspaper because you're in 2004, think about it. You've reached where a lot of people want to be. There are so many good sport reporters that are looking for their big break. If you go to any radio trade school, you'll see so many kids who want to make it in sports journalism. Hell, there's a lot of middle-aged dudes that do sport blogs that do better analysis than these national networks. But these national networks forget where they came from. They forget where they came from. So the problem is this. They just begin doing lazy headlines. They talk about LeVar Ball. Ooh, what an innovative and unique plot line, talking about a dad that's obsessed with his kids and wants them to do well. Or talking about LeBron James. Is he finally done? Listen, guys, you sport reporters, you've reached the top of the heap. You've made it. Come up with creative journalism, you hacks. Just saying. It's such low-hanging fruit. And no, the Cleveland Cavaliers are not hot trash. You know what is hot trash? The Chicago Bulls. The fact that one player took out one of the starters that's making millions. Bobby Portis 2 weeks ago punching Nikola Vucevic. Just saying, or however you say his name. All right, here's the deal. We're going to come back on Happy Hour, and we're going to wrap everything up. Tweet at me, at Ryan Hoppe Radio. Ooh, yay. I think I heard more gunshots outside. I'm going to go duck and cover. We'll be right back on Happy Hour after this. Do not touch that computer mouse, that tablet, however the hell you're watching my show.
What if they're fireworks? Because it's Halloween.
Theater of the mind. Shut up.
Happy Hour.
I actually have heard gunshots in my neighborhood, though, so
I have too, but I live in a very,
What's up? This is
Bad
Ryan
neighborhood.
Hoppe from the award-winning Happy Hour podcast here on Tampa Bay, and I'm here today to talk about my new friend of Happy Hour, Tampa Bay bands who have made the new Happy Hour t-shirts possible. And here's why you should check them out, because I'm a man of my words. They offer a broad range of decorating techniques that are all performed in-house, right there. Direct garment, screen painting, and embroidery. They are very exceptional, and they produce each order on an individual basis, so they care about making sure it comes to you as soon as possible. They operate at their own art setup and embroidery factory here in Tampa Bay, and they provide the highest quality screen printing in all of Florida. And guess what? They use the top-notch equipment and top-grade inks to ensure that their direct-to-garment prints are reached at a
I'll be back in
standard
about 2
that they
minutes.
can be proud of. And maybe you're
Yeah.
going, oh man, how can I get into contact with such a great company? Trust me, it's not hard. It's
Hey!
all you have to do is give them a call right now at
You're funny.
813-374-9544. That's 813-374-9544. Or you can visit them right off of West Shore Boulevard in Tampa Bay. That's at 4817 South West Shore Boulevard. And go to their website, TampaBayBands.com. Trust me when I say that they are the best in the Bay.
Live from Tampa Bay, you are tuned in to Happy Hour.
All right. We're about to wrap up Happy Hour. We're about to end everything. About to get these shenanigans over with. All right. Listen. Check out Metro PCS. And if you're going, man, which one is it? I know there's so many in the Tampa Bay area. Which Metro PCS shop should I check out? I want to get really good deals. I'm sick of my 2-year contract. I just want to get out of it. All you have to do is go to 4330 North 40th Street North, and that's in Tampa Bay, Florida. Call them at 813-628-8622. That's 813-628-8622. Metro PCS over there. If you tell them that Ryan Hoppe sent you and that they hooked you up with a great deal, they will, and that if you go there and tell them that I sent you and that you're a listener of Happy Hour, they will hook you up with a great deal. That's what I meant to say. Also, check out Sully's Graphics out of Duluth, Minnesota. Go to tinyurl.com/happyhourdecal. It's tinyurl.com/happyhourdecal. For just $2, you can support this 2-time award-winning podcast, had a name drop, and you can support small business in this country. And Sully's Graphics, brought to you by Nicholas Seymour. Very, very soon, we'll be making hoodies for the show. So when you're freezing cold at 65 degrees in Florida, or if you're actually cold in Cleveland at -10, you can support this 2-time award-winning podcast. Also, check out Tampa Bay Bands at tinyurl.com/Hoppe t-shirts. It's tinyurl.com/Hoppe t-shirts. You can buy Happy Hour t-shirts, and some of the proceeds will go to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society to find a cure. F cancer. Also, get my app, Happy Radio, in the Google Play and iOS shop by searching up Happy Radio, HLPPE Radio. Tweet me at Ryan Hoppe Radio. RyanHoppeRadio@gmail.com. Email me, RyanHoppeRadio@gmail.com. Snapchat me, Happy Radio. Look me up on the gram. I take hot selfies. Ryan Hoppe Radio. Tweet me at Ryan Hoppe Radio. Basically, everything is Ryan Hoppe Radio besides my Snapchat, which is Hoppe Radio, but they won't let me change it. All right. I appreciate you guys listening. I appreciate all the support. I most likely will be back on Thursday, but either way, I also will have a throwback episode that I will be releasing. This has been Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe, saying peace.
And vote for Trump in 2020.
Out.